Good morning, everyone. We will get the meeting started. Mabel and Janice, will you do roll call, please?
Acadia,
Present by, present by proxy.
Acadia 2, absent. Andover A, absent. Andover B, absent. Andover C, absent. Andover E, absent. Andover G, absent. Andover H, absent. Bedford A, oh yes, sorry. Bedford B, absent. Bedford C,
Present by proxy.
Bedford D, absent. Bedford F, absent. Bedford G,
Present by proxy.
Bedford J, absent. Brookfield,
Present by proxy.
Cambridge A,
Present by proxy.
Cambridge E,
Present by proxy.
Cambridge F, absent. Cambridge H, absent. Cambridge I,
Present by proxy.
Cambridge J, absent. Cambridge K,
Present by proxy.
Cambridge L, absent. Cambridge M,
Present by proxy.
Corinth,
Present by proxy.
Devonshire, absent. Dorchester B,
Present by proxy.
Dorchester D, absent. Fairborn,
Present by proxy.
Fairfield A, absent. Fairfield C, absent.
Waiting
He's here, Fairfield B. Is your Fairfield B or D, Miss Anne Louise? D. Yes, D. I heard D a while ago, sorry. Fairfield B, absent. Fairfield C, absent. Fairfield E,
for present by proxy.
Fairfield F, absent. Fairfield G, absent. Gloucester B,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester C, absent. Gloucester D,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester E,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester F,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester G, absent. Gloucester J, absent. Gloucester K, absent. Gloucester L,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester M, absent. Gloucester N, absent. Highgate A, absent. Highgate B,
Present by proxy.
Highgate E, absent. Highgate F,
Present by proxy.
Highgate 3, Highgate 3, absent. Highgate 4, absent. Inverness,
Present by proxy.
Knowles 1,
Present by proxy.
Knowles 2, absent. Knowles 3, absent. Lancaster 1,
Present by proxy.
Lancaster 4, absent. Lyndhurst, absent. Manchester 1, absent. Manchester 3,
Present by proxy.
Maplewood,
Present by proxy.
Nantucket 3, absent. Nantucket 4,
Present by proxy.
Nantucket 5, absent. Oxford 1,
You need to check in.
Oxford 2, absent. Portsmouth, absent. Quail Pass, absent. Radisson 1,
Present by proxy.
Radisson 2, absent. Richmond,
Present by proxy.
Somerset, absent. Southampton 1,
Present by proxy.
Southampton 2,
Present by proxy.
Tremont 1,
Present by proxy.
Tremont 2,
Present by proxy.
Villeroy,
Present by proxy.
Worlington,
Present by proxy.
Yorkshire, absent. Mr. President, you have a quorum of 64.7% with 3,576 units with 68 association. 3,576 and 68 association.
And I'll call the meeting to order, and please rise for pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first item is the approval of the September 17th, 2021 draft membership meeting. May I have a motion to approve? Thank you, Tom Murphy. Second? Maureen Hamilton. In the proxies, are there any no votes? They're all yeses. I will ask, is there any objection to the approval of the minutes? Then hearing none, I will, instead of going through an entire roll call, I will therefore declare the minutes unanimously approved by those in attendance. Takes us to managers' reports, and I'll call upon Keith to do his manager report for First Service.
Good morning. Just checking out, there it is. Happy Friday, mid-October. This is the First Service Management Report. Again, for the month of September stats. Just quickly, we're going to go to, I guess I got the wrong monthly previously. We're going to go through the monthly financials, and I'll do a quick bank transition update, but the monthly financials are still being completed by the 21st of each month. I know many of you get them early on. Is this coming through?
Very quiet, very quiet.
Just bring it closer. Quickly, for the City National Bank transition that was approved last month, we have gone through 2 rounds of funding to the new bank accounts. All of the new bills for each association is being paid out of the City National Banks. So that's going very well on our end. And again, there's been no additional needed work from any of the associations. So we should have that wrapped up by the end of October. Debbie and the team will be able to reconcile both the City National Banks for October and the new City National Banks, and then close those Bank United accounts out and move forward as normal. But all the click pay, all the funds are now being deposited back into the City National Bank. Yes, sir. Just a quick note, the First Service building, again, is under the Land Trust operations. It is a Land Trust building. So the mask protocol for inside our lobby is still in place. We did clarify that with the board there. So again, we're still asking folks to have masks on when they come inside the office, and we do provide some if somebody needs it. We ask just please continue patience with the ladies if they ask you to put masks on. They're just trying to follow the rules there. A couple quick stats again. These were read at the beginning of the board meeting, but I'll just go back through a couple of them there. Again, for the month of September, transfers were 37, leases were 35. We're starting to see a little uptick in those again. They were down over the last several months. We're starting to see a trend back in the upward direction for both of those, especially as season comes through with the leases. Phone calls, we had about 3,700 phone calls taken. We did about 663 or 36 pest control appointments. Had a little over 1,000 people walk in. Did 28 orientations. New homeowner orientations. We did about 47 alteration requests, issued 10 violations, which is good and low, and also drew up 12 new contracts. A couple quick updates on the insurance. Again, next week we're going to be holding the fall insurance workshop, so we're looking forward to having everybody attend that. There's going to be a lot of good information there. The agenda was sent out earlier this week, kind of highlighting some of the topics, but we will talk about market conditions. We're going to talk about budget projections. We'll dive into any HO6 and HO3 questions and policies and the importance of that, and then bring any other questions you have about the policies or anything else. We'd be happy to get it out there for everybody. Trash collections, we are now in the midst of working with the 3 new vendors that can bid the commercial bulk contract, because starting in February, the company FCC will be replacing Waste Connections on the residential side. So everybody has residential containers will be picked up by a new provider, and then the bulk contract is going to be rebid and reworked with those 3 companies, and they are FCC, Republic Services, and Waste Management. So there'll be some bids in there for the board and the membership to approve for those associations that have the 2- and 4-yard dumpsters. Quickly under pest control, we are still inside the 3-day window. I think we're booking into Tuesday right now, and again, we always continue to add additional technicians as that the load goes up and down. So we're always watching that on a daily basis. Spectrum, I know Tom and I have early conversations. The contract is about 18 months out, so that's something that's just in the background that he's starting to look at. So we'll help in any way we can with that contract renewal as it comes up as well. In hurricane season, we're still hanging in there in the hurricane season. The video link is out there from the symposium, so a lot of great information again is inside that video link. Check it out. It's on the KPSCC website. And again, just to note your calendars, the next big symposium is on March 7th of next year. Landscaping vendors, the contracts are back from the attorney after the second go around, so the committee is meeting later today to review that again. And then we'll be presenting the initial RFP and contract to the board to be sent out to about 20 RFP vendors that we're looking to have bid the contracts. Again, they're all going to be out for bid, all 4 sections. So we'll be bringing that back to the board and then to the membership, looking to be December, January timeframe to be able to approve those in front of the membership. So everybody have a chance to give your feedback in. Please send them to me or the committee if you got any additional comments or concerns. We'd love to hear them before any other decisions are made. Grading inspections, again, we're still inside the new grading inspection methodology. So we have Ryan Bork is doing 3 weeks of daily inspections for each association, and then Paul Woods with OLMs is coming in for his week, doing again 113 inspections with the new iAuditor program. So it is working out very well to see some of the stuff that's being missed, being able to correct and educate the vendors and get them moving in the right direction. The next grading meeting is at October 27th. Our work orders for the month were about 32 for September. We are still holding our education workshops. The next one for October is the end of the month on October 29th at 9:30. I think the big focus this month is more on trees, so we'll be discussing hardwood trees and how they're supposed to be trimmed, and any other trees inside the community. So we welcome everybody. Tell your associations. We'd love to have you guys come out and learn a little bit more about the landscaping and about trees. Palm and oak tree trimming cycle. We are now into the monthly trimming cycle with Brown's Tree, so they are coming the 4th week of every month. So we're continuing to work through that process on the expectations from the member associations, as well as trying to get Brown's in the right direction to make sure that we're addressing the trees properly. You can imagine each association has a different expectation on how trees are supposed to be done, and we want to make sure that we can, make sure everybody's happy and get it properly trimmed everywhere. We've met with several associations already, so if anybody has any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. Me and Ryan are happy to come out and walk the grounds with you for half hour, and then go through kind of the expectations and what's going on, and just working through those concerns. So just shoot me an email. We'd be happy to come out. Mulch is hiding down there at the bottom, but the mulch is in full gear. So far, we've had really good responses on the installation. Everybody's been pretty happy where we're seeing rakes, we're seeing them put it down a lot better. Like I said, gotten a lot of great compliments on that. We're working through the delivery process. There were a couple snafus, one little minor auto accident with the forklift, but
Minor?
it was minor. But again, we work through all those challenges for every incident. So. Any questions on the mulch, please let me and Ryan know, and we'll be happy to try to square it away. We're getting all the additional sign-offs and making sure everybody's happy and get their bag counts proper. We are starting to see with a lot of associations though, under mulching their properties, so the bag counts are kind of lower, and when they're starting to see it put down, it's a lot thinner. So we're going to try to make those notes down, talk to the associations that make sure we're putting the adequate number of bags down everywhere, so everybody can be happy with how the properties look. And lastly, a couple of community reminders as always. If you're at any board meetings and you need some extra emergency contact forms for new homeowners or current homeowners to update, please hand it out to them and let them know to turn it into us. It's real great information to always make sure those contacts are updated in the event of passing or something happening with a unit owner. We can get to the next emergency contact to make sure we can help those folks out, as well as help the association out. After hours emergency, always there, always available. The 863-642-8990. And lastly, the community websites. Again, if you're in your board meetings and you have any questions, let your CAM know. We'd like to get everybody, as many people we can, hooked up on your individual association community website. It's kind of just a collection center for your minutes, your financial documents, your association documents. It's a good place to have your homeowners go to pull some of that information to help answer any of their questions for them. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Keith. And before I call on Rudy, Tom, I know you're sitting out in the audience. Would you kindly stand up for a minute, please? Tom asked to have a conversation with the board earlier this week, and I know Keith mentioned that he had been talking to him. Although the Spectrum contract doesn't expire until the end of March of 2023, Tom is already starting working on contacting other companies to see what they would charge so we can keep Spectrum honest in the negotiations. Tom, I want to thank you. I know since you left the board, You have worked very diligently on resolving Spectrum problems. You have stepped up to the plate and said you want to be a part of and run the negotiations with Spectrum for the next round of contracts. And I wanted to personally thank you from the entire community and not just the board for all the work that you have put in and that you will put into the Spectrum contract. So thank you very much, and I really appreciate it. With that, I'll call on Rudy. Unfortunately, Ginger had another obligation for the past few days in regard to Vesta, so Rudy has kindly stepped up. Rudy, I hate to say this, but your hair is not as long, nor are you as pretty, but we will accept you.
Wow, what a standard. Good morning, board. Good morning, members. Can you hear me pretty good? Yeah, thank you. We're pleased to share the Land Trust Management Report for September. Also, we will announce that our amenities service recovery program is almost complete, and we'll talk about the relaunch of some popular services, expanded programs, and expanded hours. But let's start off with the fitness center. Thank you. So as you can see, 8,800 gym users. That's up about 5% over last month. We also have about 3,400 water and land aerobics classes, about 160 more participants than we did last month. On our spa and salon usage, we served 323 clients. That's 50 more than last month. They booked about 577 services. That's up 107 more services. And the sales in the spa and salon area, over 15,000. That's up about 26% or $3,100 compared to last month. Next. In the food and beverage area, I hope many of you have had a chance to go down and visit the refurbished Palm Court restaurant. It's open for business. I know our staff is looking forward to seeing you. We've served 5,100 people last month. That's 12% of that came from curbside and to-go services. The restaurant is still open for in-dining, so we welcome you the next time you come back. Food and beverage sales for the month was about $88,000. That's up 9%. Or $7,200 compared to last month. So as I mentioned, this month we're pleased to relaunch some of these popular dining programs. And go back one more. Yeah, that's okay. Thank you, Keith. So this month we're pleased to relaunch some of these popular programs with expanded days, hours, and new menu selections. For example, the La Perque Cafe reopens next Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The cafe will offer a grab-and-go menu for breakfast and lunch. The Palm Court will reopen every Monday, starting Monday, November 10th. The restaurant will now be open 7 days a week. Backed by popular demand, breakfast will be served at the Palm Court. The dine-in breakfast service is being launched on November 4th, and it'll be available from Thursday through Sunday, starting at 8 a.m. I would be remiss if I didn't thank the board and the board members for their support and patience while we were dealing with some challenging staffing issues during this time. I know that the management team has offered the appropriate resources and staffing to deliver these services. Thank you, board. Here's a look at some of the upcoming events. So we just completed the annual flu shot program. I believe about 300 residents participated, and kudos to Walgreens for making this possible. The annual garage sale is back on October 22nd and 23rd. This month's featured movie is Gorilla, on October 25th. The popular monthly dinner program returns on October 23rd. The popular food truck rally returns to the Veterans Theater on October 27th. It's featuring the Monster Lobster, did I say that right, Tom? And Blue Coconut Barbecue. And of course, we're planning bus trips with our vendor partners, Glory Tours, and the Sun City Center Travel Club. On the 2021 projects, the focus has been on the South Club. We're working on the South Club pool deck expansion project. The RFP process is in progress with 3 bids that are currently under review. The replacement of the Jubilee wall partition is now completed. The South Club lobby entrance and the Palm Court floor replacement is completed. The indoor pool at the South Club, they've started that scope of work, and it includes retiling and resurfacing the pool and the pool deck, at the pool deck, and the palm tree trimming program down at the South Club is also completed. Lots going on down there. Here's your transportation numbers. As you can see, ridership and residents' usage continues to track last month's numbers. Gate security operations. I'll highlight that there's over 12,500 passes issued. The security patrol in the community covered over 2,500 miles, and there were about 22 incident reports. One security notable. A resident called the front gate to report what appears to be a lost woman walking in the community. Security identified that she was indeed a resident and appeared confused. However, they were unable to reach her emergency contacts. As Keith mentioned a while ago, it's so important that you provide that emergency contact information to us. Security was then able to call 911, and the resident was taken safely to South Bay. And here's a friendly reminder from security with respect to golf cart decals. Residents without a golf cart decal are asked to go to the front gate, visitors lane, after 3 p.m. in their golf cart. Present your ID badge and your golf cart serial number to receive a new decal. And finally, as you know, we have many employee partners that we work with on a daily basis throughout the community, and they're all here to serve you and make sure that your membership experience is far superior to our competitors in the market. There are many employees that show up every day to serve the residents of Kings Point with a warm smile and a positive attitude. You all know many of them. Today, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to recognize 2 outstanding Vesta employees. Yolanda Marquez.
Rudy, if they're here, would you have them come down?
Yes, ladies, please join us. Thank you. Yolanda Marquez and Nanette Leggett. So, as you know, Yolanda works in the South Club as a housekeeper, and she is celebrating this month her 14 years of service to the community of Kings Point. Nanette Leggett. She's the first associate I met when I came to Kings Point almost 9 years ago. She works in the business office and resident services, and Nanette is celebrating 24 years of service to this community. Ladies, for your many years of service to the residents of Kings Point, it's a true testimony to your hard work and dedication to the community of residents, and we value and we appreciate your contribution. Congratulations on your anniversary, and thank you so much for all you do. Thank you.
Rudy, before you leave your mic, I'd just like clarification, so poor Matt doesn't get complaints. You said the South Club palm tree trimming and removal was completed. However, there is one remaining palm tree, which is a smaller palm tree there, that is still there. And it is my understanding that that will be removed by the landscapers, turf keepers. It was not a part of the actual tree trimming and removal. Is that correct?
That's correct. It was not part of that scope, but it will be taken care of.
So if the residents who utilize the South Club pool would be patient, they will have that dead palm removed as soon as turf keepers can get to it. And I just wanted to make that clarification. The board has asked Ginger a number of times about that particular tree, and figured might as well let the residents know about it. So
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
you did a good job filling in for Ginger.
I will try to grow my hair a little longer.
We could hear you a lot better than we can hear Ginger. We will turn to committee reports, and I will go down the table to Liz. Do you have any updates that you want to give, Liz? I won't make you go to the podium.
Thank you, that's a half an hour walk from here. Tree Committee is working on the next landscape workshop, and we will be talking about oak trees. And as far as health and safety is concerned, we are keeping up with the COVID booster information and working with, having the e-blast out so that everybody knows what's going on and where to go. And hopefully, we're getting close, we will not have to mobilize the disaster planning team for the proposed action should we have a hurricane. Thank you. Keep your fingers crossed.
Thank you. Janice, I'll turn to you for an update on the insurance committee.
Just repeating what Keith said about the insurance workshop this Tuesday, October 19th at 2 p.m. right here in the Veterans Theater. Hope to see all of you there.
I'm not going to let you off the hook that easy. You'd have received an initial proposal on insurance rates. In fact, there was an article in the paper this morning about the massive increase that residents throughout the state of Florida are incurring. Could you give just a slight idea of what the residents can expect or the associations can expect as far as a percentage increase this year?
Yeah, we had a meeting with USI this past week and with the insurance committee, and it looks like their projection is 20% increase across the board. So, yeah.
Make your plans as you talk to your residents about your budget, because I know as Keith is putting them together, he's going to have to look at some very large, and a 20% increase, just so the residents know, is around $800,000 in increase in cost for insurance.
Correct.
Am I correct?
Yes.
So that separated amongst the community is going to be somewhere around $16, $17 a month, depending upon the size of the association and the way it is broken out. So unfortunately, there's very little that we have control over in the insurance industry, but it will give at least the associations an idea of where their budgets are going to increase, and as far as we know, that is going to be probably the largest increase we are going to incur.
And Tuesday would be a good time for you to ask any questions on that increase, because Adam LePatin and Brian Burns will both be there from USI.
Barbara, do you have anything on the CPC? Okay, I won't push you. And therefore, I'll turn the meeting over to Alan for the treasurer's report. I have asked Alan, because he was out on well-deserved vacation, of course, I always question why he gets one. He was not here during the September membership meeting to give the first quarter report, so I've asked him if he would not only do the consolidated second quarter report, but also do the first quarter report that the members didn't have the opportunity, who didn't attend the board meeting, to have it.
All right, yes, thank you, Jack. Yes, the July board meeting, Federation board meeting was July 2nd, which would have been 2 days after the first quarter ended, so of course not enough time. But at the August 6th Federation meeting, I gave the first quarter results, treasurer's report. And of course, there was not a membership meeting in August, so I wasn't able to do that then. And the first membership meeting then after that was September 17th, and I was over 2,000 miles away, so I could not give that report. We just had a Federation meeting on October 1st, which is 1 day after the second quarter ended at the September 30th, so I was not able to give a report to the Federation. So today, the membership actually will get the second quarter results. And again, as Jack said, I'll give both, just so I'm not accused of not giving the report. So here's the first quarter results, April 1st through June 30, first quarter end. And I want to begin by this page, which again just reiterates what we did, what the membership, Federation Board of Membership approved. The budget for this year, for 21-22, was a number of transfers. We transferred money out of the registration fees, as well as transferred some money out of really our fund balance. And we put almost $20,000 in landscape fund, which then began this year at $50,000 landscape fund. We transferred about $20,000 into grounds cleanup, which also gave a $50,000 balance there. We transferred $22,000 and about $800 into the professional services fund. We transferred about $20,000 and some into the community promotions fund. And then that's where they came out of, you can see too, the registration fees and members' equity. Just a reminder of the transfers that were approved as part of this year's budget. So then the next page, which shows the current assets, the unrestricted fund total members' equity of $52,382, the total in the restricted funds of $526,277 for total assets of $578,659. The next page then shows the revenues, which is right on target, just the assessments that were approved that come in on a regular basis. And the other revenue, which is our transfer fees of $19,593 received for the first quarter. The operating expenditures are well below budget, as you can see. Administrative utilities, about $500 each. Contracts was actually last 125 negative, and that's because of a refund in that area. So next page. As you can see then in the restricted funds, the insurance, the landscape fund has the $50,000 balance, the insurance deductible fund revenues, the assessments came in $1,338. We spent only $2,427 of insurance deductible, which is fantastic for a quarter. I can remember quarters, I can remember years where it was over $88,000. And I think this is a thanks to all of you for taking care of your property, for being safe, for being smart, for turning off, things like turning off your water when you leave so you don't have floods, making sure the exhaust fan in the bathroom is turned off so you don't have fires while you leave, all those kind of things. Take good care of your property, which it looks like you are doing, so thank you all for that. Grounds cleanup fund at $50,000, legal fund at $25,000, professional services fund, again, the assessment revenue, $12,537. We spent $17,692 that quarter for professional services fund, for the balance of still 101 in that fund, 101, 136. The contracts fund, a revenue of $365, which is actually a refund of expenditures. It's an audit of prior insurance policies, and we received a check from that. And of course, the expenditure of $14,250, that's the half of the year for the additional palm fertilizations out of that. Community Promotion Fund, again, the assessments came in at $4,224 and expenditures of $2,428 for the basically maintaining the website. And then registration fees, we received $19,550 for the quarter for the registration fees. And that then a balance of, again, $526,277 in the restricted funds. So that's the first quarter report. So shifting to now the more up-to-date and the second quarter, and the second quarter is really, it's a cumulative amount, so it's really the first and second quarter. It's the treasurer's report up to and including the second quarter, so April 1 to September 30 of the second quarter. So the next page then shows, if I can turn my page here, shows our current assets of $55,474 in members' equity, but also included in accounts payable 289, and the reserve fund balance of $531,145 for total assets of $586,908. And the next page shows, again, the assessments, which are right on target, and it shows now the cumulative transfer fees, which is the other revenue, $35,936 we received now for the half a year's worth of those. And the expenditures continue to be right on target, very, very low, very below budget. Contracts, again, $736. The contracts, we send out payments because the contracts that's to maintain the 1902 building, and the master uses that, the COA uses that, and there are some shared costs. We send out a notice and we get reimbursements for the prior year. That's why the 736 is so negative, because of the reimbursements from the prior year. So then the next page shows again, reiterates transfers, shows the revenues, the insurance deductible fund, $2,676, and the expenditures of $10,759, a little bit higher, but still not bad for half a year for the insurance deductible. And again, a good healthy balance still in that account. The grounds cleanup has a balance, legal fund balance. The professional services fund, assessments came in $25,074, and expenditures so far of $51,390 for professional services, mainly legal fees. The contracts fund, there's actually a revenue there, $13,806. Our contract with First Service establishes and maintains a certain number of employees that they have in their office here in Kings Point to provide services for us. They had an employee leave, and it took a few months to replace the employee. So they have reimbursed the Federation $13,806. The value of what they would have paid the person had they had the person there. And of course, the expenditure is $14,250 from the contracts. And again, that's the same first half of the year, palm fertilizations. Community promotions, revenue $8,440, 48, that's the assessments for the budget. And the expenditures of $3,357, again, for the website primarily. Registration fees, the transfer fees really, we have received $35,894. On the expenditure side, you say $57. That's bank fees we had to pay. There was a person that sent a check in, the check bounced, we had to pay a fee. So they sent a new check in. The new check bounced, we had to pay another fee, and so that's the 57. We have received, in fact, I think we've already received, you'll see it in the next quarter, we received payment, a money order payment for the check amount as well as for the additional fees that were incurred. So that amount's gonna come back to the Federation. For, again, a total of $531,145 in the balances of all the reserve funds. So that's the Treasurer's report. Any questions?
Then I will turn it over to my report. I only have two things that I wanted to discuss. One is of a very, personally to me, sad nature. The weekend before last, Ma Bell's father passed away in the Philippines. And due to quarantine, which is 14 days in the Philippines, Ma Bell was not able to go home for the funeral of her father. But I wanted to, and the board has already expressed, but I wanted to express from the community our deepest sympathy on the loss of your father. And I don't mean to make you cry, so we love you, Ma Bell, and I know it's difficult, especially when you lose a parent, so please extend our sympathy and know that you're in our prayers and that your family is in our prayers. On a better note, I don't know how many people get the newspaper, but in the newspaper on Wednesday was an article regarding the best lawyers. The Federation was very surprised, but very pleased to see that the Federation's counsel, who is Webb Melton, was named one of the lawyers of the year in the Tampa, city of Tampa and the Tampa region, which excludes Sarasota and Pinellas County. I've already expressed the board's congratulations to him. It is voted on by around 11,000 different lawyers in the area, and the lawyers of the year honorees are those who receive the most votes from their peers for the area of their expertise. So it's a very high honor to be considered a lawyer of the year in your area in the city of Tampa. So we expressed our congratulations to him. In addition, they also issue out a best lawyers in Tampa Bay, not just lawyer of the year, but they issue out best lawyers in Tampa Bay. And our counsel, Webb Melton, was also named as the best lawyer for condominium law. So we extended our congratulations to him. And for those of you who deal with him, because I know there are some folks within the community who use him or Bush Ross as their law firm, take a minute and extend your congratulations to him. It is a very high honor. There's probably only 40 or 50 lawyers in the entire city of Tampa that get Lawyer of the Year, so we feel very fortunate to have him as our legal counsel. And I just wanted to add that. And hopefully the weather will turn a little bit cooler. It's been a little bit nicer in the morning, and hopefully it will go down. And as Liz mentioned earlier, we only have another month and a half to go, Liz, and we all got our fingers crossed and knocking on wood to keep the storms away, and it doesn't seem too active in the Atlantic right now. I know, let's not say anything, so. With that, that ends my president's report. We had nothing on open forum because we have no other agendas. items, either unfinished business or new business. So I will open it up for any good and welfare announcements. And I was going to ask Mike Bardell, seeing you're here, if you want to give us an update on your petition and how that stands and whether those are still around. Let Mike do his.
Good morning. Can you hear me now? Evidently, you need to be checked out on this advance. But what we have found with COVID is that we don't have enough ambulance support in the Sun City area. So what we have put together a proposal for is to sign a petition if you agree. Because we have 2 ambulances in Sun City here from ALS, so I'm talking about Hillsborough County now, not including ours, because ours is a BLS service and theirs is A. And then there's one in Ruskin. They have a station in Waimama, but it has no ambulance. And over the last several years, the county has authorized 19,000 homes to be built. And in that same time frame, what they have given in South County is 2 paramedics and a pickup truck. Somehow I don't think that equates to the services needed. And if you think that isn't true, all of these trucks have numbers on them. The numbers for the Sun City one are 28 and 28A, and 17 is from there. We have trucks that come from Brandon, from Lithia, down here to service our community. Now, if you're the one that needs assistance, I think you're going to find it unacceptable to have to wait that extra amount of time. And you know how long it takes to get from Brandon to here. So, and those trucks have, even with the lights and sirens, it's still going to be extra time if you need it. So what I've done is I come up with a petition for you to sign it if you agree with that we need to have extra services. What I am asking in the petition for is a truck and crew, because I know how politicians tend to do things, and they'll get us a new truck, but no new paramedics. And then the truck sits out there front and looks pretty. So we want the truck and the support personnel to obviously work it. Now the trucks go in different areas, but if you start out with more truck and personnel here, the chances are better that you're going to spend less time in service. That's one of the angles for it. The other one is with, the governor signed an emergency order to allow the EMTs that were trained to give the shots for COVID. That order has since expired. I would like the governor to enact that again for another 6 months. And the right way to do it is through legislation. But legislation can't even be done until March. What do we do from now until then? We think we offer a good service with it. We paid, the emergency squad paid for 34 EMTs to be trained at shots. We gave shots. We think it's a very efficient program that we do, and we can assist and we can help ourselves out of this. But if you look forward to it, if we get a disaster here, one of the things that we saw when we went down to Andrew, I was part of that with the governor's order, we went down in Andrew in '92. We found a lot of people got puncture wounds in their feet. And the reason they got puncture wounds in their feet is because the storm hit in the night, and then when they woke up, when it came over them and hit, they didn't know where their shoes were. So they had to walk through, and there were a lot of nails from the tiles that got in their feet. So we may have to issue tetanus shots. What better to have all of these assets within it, and then while we got to do is search out the drug so we can give that and take care of people as it is. That's just another use that we think can be done. And we're asking the community to call the governor's office and ask him to extend that order, that emergency order that he did. There is a telephone number, I don't have it right on me, but, and also his email, to email him directly and ask him to reinstitute that. Thank you.
Mike, before you leave, where are the petitions located?
The petitions are on each clubhouse. They're also always at the emergency squad. We have them in several places, but, yeah, at the main clubhouse right up here at the front. And then it's also at the south clubhouse, and I understand 2020 at the office there. Is that correct, Rudy? That's correct. Okay, that is correct. And then it's always at the emergency squad. You can sign in. We would appreciate it. I will personally take those down to the county commissioners and make that pitch in November. Thank you.
Thank you for your update, Mike. Appreciate it. Dan?
Dan Page, treasurer of Andover T. One of the unit owners came to me last Thursday about a large snake in her unit. Okay. And I got a broom and I was able to chase it out of the unit. Since then, I've learned at Andover B there was a large snake, probably the same kind, and several other people said they saw snakes on the walk. It was a brown water snake, non-poisonous. The woman that owns the unit would leave the door open to her lanai. Okay? If you go out of your lanai, do not leave any doors open. This woman panicked. You know, I wasn't sure. I looked on Google. It's a non-poisonous snake. But you go in, the snake was 4 feet long, at least, and it was probably 2 inches in diameter. I did not know if it was poisonous or not, so I used a long broom and I was able to move the furniture and chase it out of the unit.
Dan, thank you for helping that woman. If it was me, I would probably be dead by now, because I probably would have died of a heart attack. Any other comments on good and welfare? The only thing I would like to remind as far as good and welfare goes, you know that we are doing the Christmas tree lighting on the Friday after Thanksgiving, which is a community event. On December 13th, we're doing a celebration Taste of the Holidays here at the North Clubhouse with raffle tickets, and some of the items which we've already received are iPod laptops, and correct, Keith? Along with weekend at Gasparilla Inn, some gift cards that are extensive in nature. I think they're like $100 gift cards. The raffle tickets will be $1 a piece, so and all the proceeds go to the Mary Martha House. And it is only open, the raffles are only open to Kings Point residents, and these are all coming from our individual vendors that we have. I do want to recognize that Sue Molinari is putting together a Christmas tree decoration and wreath decoration that was e-blasted out by Ma Bell earlier this week and by Vesta. Looking for signups. I know there is information in the North Clubhouse over next to the box office, along with, we have told Sue, because it is a community organization and all proceeds are going to the Martha Mary House, that she could place these flyers in the president's mailbox, so expect to see those. So save your pennies up. You could probably get some really good deals on these raffles that will be coming out. And with no other good or welfare, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Vicki. A second. Thank you. Dan? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.